Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about a common issue on a lot of farms. It's planting into heavy residue. Now, if you're a non-farmer, you're like, what do I really care about that? But I don't care if it's a garden or literally anything you're doing. If you've got lots of residue there, it does change things as opposed to if that ground is bare, or as we would often call it as farmers, if the ground is black.
Well, when that ground is bare, we see crops emerge faster. We see a lot faster early growth. You also see it in ditches. If the ditches have been burned and now the grass has no residue holding it back, oh man, that grass comes so much faster. Why? Well, part of the reason is it warms up faster in the spring. And when we get soil that is covered with lots of residue, it stays cold, it's insulated much longer. So for getting an early start, especially as you move north into colder climates, residue can be tough to deal with.
One of the biggest issues we had in the past when we were no-tilling and we had lots of residue laying out there from the previous fall, we'd go along in the spring planting, it'd be cold, it'd be wet, and we're trying to cut through that residue to place seed in the ground, and we didn't cut through the residue hardly at all. The residue was spongy because it was cold and wet. So what would happen is seed would end up on top of residue. That's a problem. If you're going to have good seed germination, you have to have seed to soil contact, not seed to residue contact, seed to soil contact. So what a lot of people will do is they'll try to push or brush that residue away, but if they don't do a good job with that or they don't cut through it very well, they have the same problem we did, which was poor stands.
Yeah, some of the technology advancements that farmers have been able to use in recent years have been automatically adjusting row cleaners. So they've got wheels that will push away that residue from the side to clear out where that row is going to be. But as they go over varying terrain and so forth, those things can move up and down to continue to do a good job, rather than being in a static position where if the planter is going through some hills, for example, you might have some rows that are up and some that are down, and you just aren't moving the residue the way you'd like.
Well, once again, heavy residue can be a big issue. I don't care what crop you're planting, where it is, even if it's in your garden. With lots of residue, it can be an advantage because you're going to trap moisture, you're going to keep that soil a little cooler.
And choke out weeds.
Yep, but for getting a crop started, it can be problematic.
Well, one thing that can be problematic in crops is weed control. We'll show you how to stop this tough weed coming up later in the show.